What's up, nerds and nerdettes and we little nerdlings all? Your buddy Big Johnny G from Two Gun Pixie Presents Legendary Gaming is back again on your screens, my friend. Ha! And with me you see Alex. You know him, you love him, and we are here together for 20-sided shots. 20-sided shots. 20-sided shots is our first impression. We play a game for the first time, and afterwards we'll talk about it. And we've decided let's start sharing it because first impressions of a game mean a lot. Yeah. It really does. Sometimes people never even play a game after a bad first impression.
Oh, for sure.
And that's killed a few good games.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. So the game in question is I backed from Greater Than Games under their Fabled Nexus imprint. I was a backer for Fate of the Elder Gods. Fate. So, now you might remember that I had done not that long ago a midday monologue that I called something like "Stop Cthulhuing My Games," and I stand by that. I really do, because most games don't capture what the Cthulhian stories were about hopelessness and despair, and there was no fighting these monsters, almost never. Never. That's insane. Like the way most of the characters ended the story. Insane. But this game is different. And there's a few games, there's a few games on the market like this game, like Fate of the Elder Gods, where you're not playing these investigators. You're playing the dudes trying to summon the beasts from the other side. So I had a lot of high hopes going into this, that it would be different, it would feel different, that it would eliminate that whole, oh, this is just a board game with a Lovecraft sticker on it kind of feel. So we just finished our first game through. Steven was here and Rob was here. They both had to leave. So we had a full 4-player game. This plays up to 4 players. And we ran our first game. Alex, start off with some thoughts.
I was going into this like, man, this rule book, it's not bad. It's like 20 pages, it's big text. I'm like, yeah. It's like, this is not going to be super complex. I mean, you can see from the back, that's the text in the whole rule book. It's not like it's, size 8, that you need a magnifying glass for. 16 pages. So,
like I said in the unboxing, I freaking hate these. I call them the album size. I hate these freaking things. I mean, look how bent it is already for me just trying to read through the thing. I don't know if you can see, but it's already starting to get dogged. But anyway, so sorry.
No. So I went into this like, oh yeah, this rule book super short. Like this is gonna be a simple game. Totally wrong. I mean, I think you agree that we were struggling hard with this for the first.
The first couple of rounds we were struggling through, but there's a double-sided player guide cards. I like to call them cheat sheets. This really did help a lot.
Oh man, yeah, it did.
And then there's a full 2 to 4 page explanation in depth of each one of these rules. So it didn't take us more than a couple of rounds to really start understanding everything.
Right. I mean, the rules.
Rob was a little behind us because he came in late. We were just finishing up the first round, so he, as far as the learning process goes, he was a step behind us, but he caught up quick. Steve got it right away after a couple of rounds. I think we did too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the rules were necessarily too hard, but the game itself is very complex.
It is deep with strategy.
Yeah.
I would liken this game strategy-wise, as far as having to think ahead of time, having to plan how you're going to use your spell cards, if you're going to use them for movement, or if you want to save them to be able to cast a spell. There's a lot of multiple step strategy going on here.
Yeah.
Which I kind of liken in a way to chess. I mean, yeah, the game plays nothing like it, but it has that level of you have to think ahead of yourself, but not just, you don't have to just think, 3 moves ahead, but you got to think 3 moves ahead in alternate realities, where if the other player does this instead, I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to do that. And with 4 players, that's a lot to keep going in your head, a lot of threads to keep running.
Yeah, and I didn't even realize until after the game that really the person you should be keeping an eye on is the person before you, because the person before you is going to basically determine where you can't go. So depending on what spell options that they have...
They might go over here, and you needed to go over here, but the player before you did it.
Right, and
you can't leave him here. Yeah, he has to move every turn. So now you can't use this, and that was part of your plan.
Right, and so I think it would have helped me at least be a little bit faster in playing if I would have realized what you, being, you know, the player before me, had in terms of options, so that I could plan out, like, well, all right, I'm probably not going to be able to go to, you know, this, or this, but, you know, so where am I going to go?
Mm-hmm. And these investigators built up fast.
Yeah, they did. Surprisingly fast.
And they were leaking into our lodges really fast.
Yeah.
And once you have 5 or more in your lodge, they're going to try to raid it. And you're going to end up losing some of your cultists. They're going to lose some investigators maybe. But it's really going to hinder what you can do because you're going to have less cultists around.
Well, it's gonna build up your it's gonna put elder signs on your summoning track. So that's what's really going to hurt you.
And the ones that die, though, get removed to the void.
Yeah, but I mean,
in the attack,
the raids don't kill your cultists.
Oh, they just build this. Okay.
They just build up the elder signs.
First game mistake.
Yeah.
I also like the system with the whole movement and the cards.
Yeah, I really like that too. And then also the cards that you use for movement are going to be what turns later when you or another player move back there determine what.
Yeah, if I wanted to cast. Oh, sorry about that little technical difficulty. Got that fixed up. Don't worry. So as I was saying, the way the cards are used, because you were pointing out how it moves.
Right.
But the other option is if you don't want to lose the card, because you might want to cast the spell, and that's what up top on this card here, these two symbols, you're going to want to move the card to a spot that has these already lying there. Because whenever you move the piece, you put the card that you use to move down. So it's building up what they call an astral column of magic. Stars are aligning. So it really is this balance of what card am I using to move, because I want the effect in this spot,
right,
as opposed to what cards do I need to hold on to for spells to help me or to mess up Alex.
Right, and also, you know, it adds another level of another choice. You know, am I going to move to this spot for what I can do there, or am I going to move to a spot with an ability that isn't necessarily what I prefer to do, but I can play a really powerful spell that's going to help me out later. So it just adds another, you know, layer of depth and choice.
Mm-hmm. And you got messed up by Rob, at least on one occasion, moving to the other world, and that was all part of your plan when it came back around to you next. Yeah, that was... I like this system. It's different than most games we've played, even most other area control games, because that's what a lot of this is area control.
Oh, yeah.
Where you move to move a guy to, how many of you have in control as opposed to other people. Can you steal control? That's a nice aspect of the game. I like the fact that you can steal temporary control to get extra power from it, even if you're not the control person. That's really cool. For a first impression, I'm dying to play this game again.
Yeah, I mean, the first game is definitely a learning game. Just because there's so much depth and strategy that you have to figure out, I think. So I think the second game would be... I would love to play it again, just to see how much different it plays out.
And I was mentioning before we started filming, and even mulling it over in my head, I still agree with it. I think that the first two games... This is my opinion. I think the first two games that you play use the same... Elder God. And the reason I say this is each Elder God is different, has their own special ability that you can activate if you get to the ceremony area over here. You have a chance to activate it. So it's all different, and that adds a different aspect to your strategy, which is why I think for the first two games that are going to be learning curve games, that's why I would suggest playing the same character. So this way, your mind is continuing the same way of you're getting into it. I don't know how to phrase it better.
Yeah, no, I mean it's one. There's so much depth to this game that figuring out, having some consistency to help you deal with that depth. I think
that's a better way of saying it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, so I can't wait to spring this on the other 27 Warriors.
Yeah, and the other thing I want to point out, I'm sure you pointed out in the unboxing, but. This game's production values are fantastic. The pieces are nice. I mean, they're molded plastic, but they're pretty detailed.
The ink wash paint on these are beautiful. They really are.
And the board is gorgeous. All the cards are gorgeous. The components are just... I think it's very...
And that's all thanks to the backers. This blew out all their stretch goals. And it was the stretch goals that got things. Like, the reason these dice are so nice and laminated, shiny, whatever that is because that was a stretch goal. The reason we have these UV reflective areas on it over here is because of the stretch goal.
That's awesome.
So it was because the backers loved this so much when they saw the video on Kickstarter, when they saw early reviews on it, that it took off. And that's why such a beautiful board. And in the unboxing, I did show off the back.
Yeah.
The back. I mean, no other game board do I know has a beautifully painted back. If you want to see it, go check out the unboxing of it and take a look at it. I've never seen a company do that before.
No, it's awesome.
And it's useless. I mean, it's not like there's a second different game board on the back. No. It was just purely artistic. It's just there because we could do it. Yeah. That was a nice touch. It really was. But next time, also, we're going to have to introduce Beast from Beyond.
Yes.
The expansion that this was able to fund at the same time, which will bring in monsters to summon.
Yeah, which I'm interested to see how that works out with everything else.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that, too. So, both of us think this is a...
Yeah,
thumbs up?
Yeah, thumbs up. I'll play this again.
Cool. Very good. So, 20-sided shots for Two Gun Pixie. Remember, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. We got a Zazzle page, a Zazzle store with some cool shirts and stuff. And give us a like if you like this video, and give us a subscribe. Come on, give us a subscribe and share it. Go ahead, share the video. We love it when you share the videos. It's perfectly cool. Don't worry about it. So, Alex, I'm Big Johnny G. Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming, and my friends, we are out of our minds.